But I want to put the spotlight on Wolves mainly because we've seen progressive sort of changes and improvement so far since the new manager's come in. But Miles, what do you see about Wolves that made them look so sort of solid and hard to beat for this Liverpool team? Because they played really well, didn't they? For as bad as Liverpool were, Wolves actually brought the game to them.
They've just got some real quality in that squad, actually, and players that have been quality for a while that we almost kind of forgot about and weren't getting kind of recognised because they weren't being coached as well. Lopategui is clearly a very good coach, particularly at that sort of level. It's an impressive appointment, and he has got Wolves playing again. And players like Ruben Neves, he was phenomenal in this game, and highlighted why really that should be the kind of player that Liverpool are going after, because it's exactly what they're missing, really. No, I thought Wolves were great, and it wasn't one of those games where you look at it and think, oh, okay, they kind of hit Liverpool on the counter at times and they got a bit lucky. I thought they were great. I think Klopp's comments after the game were ludicrous, that he saw it as a 2-0 game because the third goal shouldn't have counted because it was the first time they'd crossed into Liverpool's half or something like that. And then Wolves excellently responded on Twitter with a picture of Ruben Neves, like disappointed, and the scoreline changed from 3-0 to 2-0. Absolutely brilliant from Wolves' admin there. I love that. But no, I think they were really, really strong in this game. They've done some smart business over the last couple of windows. Mateus Cunha looked really good in this game as well. So Wolves shouldn't be any trouble, really. Their squad definitely good enough to be the sort of level they are in the Premier League. Mid-table team, potential to kick on if they invest well again, I guess.
Well, they didn't look like they could score a goal for anything not so long ago, really. But 3 past Liverpool. I don't know how much that says about this Liverpool team at the moment, but they made the chances, you know. And I think Dawson's signing as well is another sign of them trying to sort of look more solid, more dependable. And he played really well as well, and it was good for his goal. Dave, are you looking more positive about Wolves now? Can you see them actually using this kind of mini momentum they're building to put a run together? Because they're still in the mix for relegation, but they look healthier than some of the teams we've already spoken about, don't they?
I think the main thing for me about Wolves and what they're so annoying to play against. Like, you always dread playing against Wolves because they're always difficult games. I hate playing against them as a United fan. It always seems to be one of our bogey teams where we just struggle to get a result. So you've got to give them a lot of credit, especially obviously under the new manager as well. They equally is difficult to play against. And you're looking at some signs, obviously, in attacking areas. Obviously, Adama got an assist in this game, which he has obviously struggled, which is very rare. He struggles, obviously, for end product, as we know. And they actually had the highest XG this weekend. I don't know if that's more Liverpool being just awful defensively or Wolves actually improving in this area. They obviously, it could have arguably been 4. I don't know what happened to Jimenez at the end there. That he should have scored. But yeah, obviously the changes that he's made, and it seems like the players are responding to him. And you've got to say, Wolves' midfield, that is a really good midfield. I'd happily have Mateus Nunes at United. I'd happily have Ruben Neves at Man United. There's a lot of top 6 teams who would happily have those players. And I think Liverpool have been linked with Mateus Nunes, haven't they, in the summer?
They have,
So, they are blessed with a lot of talent in that squad, and they shouldn't be anywhere near the relegation zone, really, for me.
So what is the difference now, then, do you think? I know there's a new manager, there's a couple of new players, but like you say, a lot of the talent that's there has been there for a while, but we've just kind of forgotten about them because they hadn't really played as well as they could have done. What's different then, Miles, about the Lopategui Wolves? What's changed?
He is the big difference, isn't it? I mean, look at the level that he's come in from. This is someone that was doing excellent things with Spain until there was the fallout when he was offered the Real Madrid job not that long ago.
It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's someone that Wolves had earmarked before that point, obviously. It was someone that they saw fitting in with this project, and that's exactly what has happened. He's got them built. They just seem a lot more confident. I know that seems like such a basic thing to say about a new manager, but he does seem to have instilled a sense of quality into the players through their actions. It just seemed like the players that we expect good things from, like Neves, they weren't producing them as regularly or as frequently. And obviously, we know that they're struggling with goals, as Dave mentioned, and Jimenez, since his injury, has kind of failed to get back to that level. Diego Costa was never really destined for success. But if they can start to spread the goals out and not worry so much about that focal point, it seems like they're not playing towards someone like Jimenez anymore. They're using the squad better, and they've got quality there. Daniel Podence, he's going to score goals. Neto could score goals. That squad is actually quite talented. Let's not forget how they assembled it.
You forget about Neto.
Yeah, it's really easy to, but that was a player that, again, had all the potential in the world at one point, and United were looking at him, weren't they? There's a lot of players there that you could see them moving on to a bigger club and fitting in perfectly. It just wasn't clicking at Wolves previously in the season. But Lopategui seems to at least have got them a lot more organised, playing better football. Their passing's a lot quicker. They seem a lot more aware of what's going on the pitch than they did before. It looks like a strong side, actually. I wouldn't be surprised to see Wolves quite comfortably mid-table at the end of the season. And they'll be joined by Liverpool there, I think.
It's a bit of a coup, really, to get Julen Lopategui for Wolves, isn't it? I think it's a sign of the strength of the Premier League that that has happened, because they're a team fighting relegation. Although they're a talented team, I think that's probably the main reason why he's taken the job, because you can see this Wolves team as having a lot more potential to do better. And it's only a couple of seasons ago they were kind of in the fringes and in the talk for European places, weren't they? And I still think they've got a squad that's capable of that. Obviously not this season, but there's kind of shades of Unai Emery, I think, and his impact on Villa. It's just taken a really excellent coach to come in and get a talented team playing again.
I do think this Wolves squad will get picked apart in the summer, though. I think there's quite a few players that will get picked up. I think the midfield will be torn apart. Neves has been there a long time now, really, and a lot longer than he should have been when you consider his level and his quality. And I think Dave's right. Nunes is another one that Liverpool are looking at him, but would you join Liverpool without Champions League next season? There are clubs that could come in for Nunes that he'd do a really good job for. I think you're right about United. They benefit from a midfielder like that. I don't know. It's an interesting time for Wolves, but you trust them to invest well, to be honest, because they've got a few wrong. I mean, we saw how Patrick Catrone got on there, for example, but the majority of the time when Wolves buy a player, it works out fairly well. They seem to be quite good at that.